With the way the Lone Star Series has gone the past few years, maybe they should put a Rangers logo on both sides of the silver boot. On paper, this kind of domination should continue. Houston has the worst record in baseball, and their biggest star, Hunter Pence of Arlington, is injured and out of the lineup. But the series is not played on paper, and with jet stream-like conditions prevalent at the ballpark, anything can happen. The hope is certainly that the Rangers continue their mastery over the Astros as the Lone Star Series resumes next on Fox Sports Southwest. The Rangers' long road odyssey is over, and they will be here at the Rangers ballpark in Arlington for the better part of the next 3 weeks. Tonight, the first of 3 games here, matching the Rangers and the Houston Astros. And welcome, Dave Barnett along with Tom Grieve. And if history is any indication, now that the Rangers, for the next several games in earnest, will be playing against National League ball clubs, that tends to mean that Josh Hamilton and Michael Young really get cranking.
Well, we need them to get cranking. We need the offense to get cranking. The Rangers are coming off a tough road trip. They didn't play that well on the road trip, really in all facets of the game. But coming back home, wind blowing in a way, it should be conducive to good offense. This is a night the Rangers need to get their offense going, and a couple of guys that have done really well in interleague play could very well key that offense. Josh Hamilton and Michael Young have been tremendous when it comes to interleague play.
.374 average for Hamilton. That is the best anyone has put together in the history of interleague baseball. And of course, these two play for the 11th straight year for the coveted silver boot. The Rangers have won that trophy 7 of the first 10 years, and they will try to hang on beginning tonight. We'll be back with the lineups in the first pitch. Rangers and Astros next. Ford Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. By Jack in the Box. Get the new Bourbon Barbecue Steak Grill Sandwich now. By Citibank. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. It is as comfortable as it has been probably all day, with some overcast above the ballpark now, around 96 degrees as the Rangers take the field. And let's welcome Emily Jones.
Well, gentlemen, as you well know, the Rangers just wrapped up a very tough stretch in which they played 17 of 20 games on the road. However, they did manage to weather the storm, going .500 in those games. And the bottom line is they still remain atop the American League West. And despite the rough stretch, there are definitely worse places this team could be.
We'd much rather be in first than second, but at the same time, we do recognize that there are parts of our game we want to get better. Improvements are our #1 goal. We go out and find a way to get better as the season goes on. We're going to be in good shape for a stretch drive.
Michael Young with tonight's Geico quote of the game, and the good news is this team plays 16 of 19 headed into the All-Star break here at home. We know the differences between the home and road splits for this team, so things shaping up quite nicely for this team to make a little run before the break hits, guys.
Absolutely, and the only road trip coming up in that span, 3 games at Houston. So 18 straight beginning tonight, all in the state of Texas. And tonight's Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Brad Mills Astros. Jason Bourgeois leading off. Michael Bourne batting second. Jeff Keppinger is third. Carlos Lee is the DH. Jason Michaels is at left. Chris Johnson at third. Brett Wallace, very promising first baseman, batting seventh against the left-handed starter, with the veteran Clint Barmas at shortstop. Carlos Corporon is behind the plate. And they will face in his 15th start Derek Holland.
5-2 for Derek. His ERA has gone up a little bit with his last start against the Yankees. 8 home runs allowed in his last 5 starts. Within that last 5 starts was a complete game shutout. 16.6 pitches per inning. That needs to come down. That's the 6th most in the American League.
And his first pitch, a strike to Bourgeois. Former Ranger draft pick, second round 2000 out of Forest Brook High School in Houston. And he sends this pop up down the right field line. Nelson Cruz is there. And Bourgeois retired on just 2 pitches. Rest of the defense for the Rangers. Hamilton in left. Craig Gentry is the center fielder, with the infield of Beltre, Andrews, Kinsler, and Moreland, and Taylor Teagarden getting the start behind the plate. Yorvi Torrealba leaving yesterday's game in the 4th inning with symptoms of dehydration, and Teagarden took over from that point on. Here's Michael Bourne. He takes outside. First time he is not the leadoff batter today.
Bourgeois is not always a regular, but on this particular night he is, and along with Bourne, when they get on base, they can definitely steal bases. Bourne is 29 out of 32. Bourgeois 17 out of 19. So they've stolen a lot of bases, and they don't get thrown out very often. Pretty obvious what the key is. Keep them off base. 2 fast guys at the beginning of the lineup.
A well-placed fastball there at 95. 2-2. These top 2 Astros, both Houston natives. Michael Bourne grew up mostly in Humble, went to Nimitz High School, 4th round pick by the Phillies in 03 out of the University of Houston. And takes that one a little bit high. The Astros had drafted him out of high school, but went to the Cougar program for 3 years. Still ended up as Astros property, acquired in the Brad Lidge trade November of 2007. And since then, a 2-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time stolen base champion. And works a walk on the high fastball for ball 4.
And Derek's last start against the Yankees, he walked 5 batters in 5 innings. And if you're going to walk one of the Astros, Bourne is probably the least likely guy that you would want to walk on their team. Definitely a threat to try to steal right here.
He has done so 29 times already this year in 32 attempts. So here's Jeff Keppinger. Hunter Pence out of the lineup, listed as day-to-day. Really questionable for this series after spraining his left elbow. So they are without their biggest bat in the lineup. There goes Bourne. Here's the throw by Teagarden, and he had no chance. There's number 30 for Michael Bourne.
Boy, you talk about a guy that gets a quick start. He was flying the first step he took. That's a great jump. He had a little stutter step. And he was gone. Taylor had no chance on that play.
So immediately the Astros are the man in scoring position. The 1-0 pitch to Keppinger. 2 balls and no strikes. Keppinger just a good professional hitter. Comes in batting .302. Excellent against left-handed pitching. 7 for 17 so far this year. There's a strike. See his numbers for the season. In his career against lefties, he is 9th among all active players, a .333 average for the former Georgia Bulldog. And Holland falling behind him, 3 balls and a strike. Eric's first 13 pitches, only 6 have found the strike zone.
It started out with no problem to Bourgeois.
Right field. Cruz back a few steps, now circles back to make the catch. And Bourne will not challenge that arm out there for Nelson Cruz. There's out number 2. And that brings up former Ranger, the DH tonight, Carlos Lee. Cruz circling to get maximum energy and leverage behind that throw. So with Bourne still at second, here is Lee. .269 for the year, but since May 1st, .319. That's the 5th best average in the National League in that span.
Yeah, Lee's first 3 years in Houston, he averaged 35 home runs and 107 RBIs. Hit over 300. Last year he dropped down a little bit. Still had a decent year. 24 home runs, 89 runs batted in. He's always been a good solid hitter. He never has walked a lot, but he doesn't strike out much for a middle of the order guy either. He's a good contact guy.
Just low, 2 balls and a strike.
So you got a little bit of strategy here with first base open. Jason Michaels is the next hitter. He's hitting .190. Carlos Lee, as you said, Dave, has been pretty hot. He'll pitch him carefully.
A pop-up. Right side, it is Kinsler just on the edge of the grass, and he takes care of Carlos Lee. Holland works around the walk and stolen base to Michael Bourne. Astros nothing. Rangers coming to bat. They line up for Ron Washington's Rangers tonight. We'll again feature Kinsler, Andrews, Hamilton, Beltre, Young, and Cruz. Mitch Moreland back at first base. Taylor Teagarden behind the plate. Craig Gentry gets his first start since Tuesday out in center field, and they will face the 28-year-old lefty from Spring Valley, Illinois, J.A. Happ.
He's had 14 starts this year. His record doesn't look that great, 3-8. He has been pitching better recently, though. He hasn't pitched as well on the road as he has at home. He gets a lot of fly ball outs, which we'll see exactly how the wind's blowing. It looks like it's blowing in from right field, and giving up a lot of fly balls may not be in his best interest today.
Ball one to Kinsler. Yesterday in Atlanta, hit a stolen base and scored a run in the Rangers' 4-2 defeat. Ian working on a 6-game hitting streak. And significant that he put that streak together on the road. 310 over that span. Back home for Ian, where he's a 333 hitter. And like a number of Rangers, has feasted on National League pitching over the years. 306 his interleague lifetime average. And Happ balling behind him here. 3 balls and a strike. Disappointing loss yesterday, but the Rangers took 2 of 3 in Atlanta. And a borderline call there for strike 2. Full count. 161 road average, still the lowest in the major leagues, but it is on an upward arrow of late. And a one-hopper sent out to Johnson at third. He can't hang on and will have no play.
Well, Dave, before the game, when we were kind of previewing the Astros, we talked about their problem defensively. They lead the major leagues in errors. And right off the bat, first ground ball, relatively easy ground ball. The play is not made.
The Rangers still tied for last defensively in the American League, but Houston setting that dubious pace at the bottom of the National League, and Johnson just looked like maybe he took his eye off just as it was getting to his glove. So here's Elvis Andrews, and strike 1 to Elvis. Elvis a hit yesterday, caught stealing for just the 3rd time this year, just the 2nd time to be thrown out by a catcher. But like Kinsler, he brings his 6-game hitting streak home. 321 over that span.
And looking down at the field, one thing that was done while we were gone is they put in new infield grass. Looked like they also replaced some grass out in right field. Take a while for that to grow in perfectly, but for just having been put in, looks pretty good.
I'd take it in my yard. I know that.
I guess so.
One pitch driven to center field. Bourne literally in his tracks. Did not have to move to haul that line drive in. The rest of the Astros defense will line up this way tonight. Michaels in left. You just saw Bourne in center, and Bourgeois is in right. Johnson, Farmas, Keppinger, and Wallace the infield, with Carlos Corporon behind the plate. Astros continue to miss Jason Castro, injured very early. Would have been their everyday catcher this year. So here is Hamilton. And he goes right after the first pitch. Josh 0 for 4 both Saturday and Sunday, and that ended his 24-game interleague hit streak. Tied for the 4th longest all time. But still the best career interleague average of all time at 374. And nothing in 2. Our Ford leaderboard tonight. We look at career averages against the Houston Astros. And that group all no doubt excited that they've got a series here, the series in Houston next week, because they have traditionally padded their numbers. Josh fouling another one back to keep it 0-2. I thought Josh's answer when we talked to him after the Friday game in Atlanta, asked him why he does so well against pitchers who have never seen him. Didn't really know, but he says, so they haven't seen me much either. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I think Josh is one of those hitters that doesn't necessarily go by the scouting report on the pitcher. He's one of those hitters that just looks for the ball and reacts to the ball. It probably doesn't matter to him who's pitching. Some guys study the pitchers, their patterns, and how they pitch to them, and they're much more comfortable with pitchers they've seen before. And Josh is just one of those guys that just reacts to the ball, uses his hitting instincts rather than a scouting report, just a guess.
I'm going to do what I do. Let's see how you deal with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he's worked a 2-2 count. Adrian Beltre on deck. Cap very deliberate with a man on. Base hit to center field. Kinsler up to second, and the Rangers have something brewing in the first inning. 2 on for Adrian Beltre.
A nice 2-strike approach right there. Trying to go back through the middle with it. Not over swinging. Gets what looks like a hanging slider. Up and slightly out of the strike zone, really. Reaches out and smacks it into center field. Well hit ball.
So no offer tonight for Josh. And here is Beltre with a shift in the Astro infield, decidedly expecting him to pull. Second baseman Keppinger just a couple of steps from directly behind the bag. Johnson at third, maybe 3-4 steps off the line. It's the 4th straight game for Beltre back in the cleanup spot. And he rips a base hit to left field. Here comes Kinsler. Michael's throw cut off, and the Rangers take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that was a rope right there. It's one of those balls that you know that was hit on the sweet spot. That ball was hit as well as the ball he hit to left center field for the game-winning RBI in Atlanta, the second day in Atlanta. It was like a pretty good fastball to hit. And that's a pretty good swing at it, too. That's one you're happy to get the RBI single, but you wish you got it up in the air a little bit, because no park would have kept that from going over the wall if he got it up in the air.
Beltre drives in his 52nd run of the year. He is 5th in the American League. Hamilton at second now. A run in, 2 on 1 out for Michael Young. And Michael also bringing in a 6-game hitting streak, over which he's hit .320. And is back in the top 10 in the American League in batting at .307.
And right off the bat, the error on Kinsler's ball to third base plays a role in the rally. I'm sure that's what Chris Johnson is thinking about right now.
2 balls and no strikes. J.A. Happ's scouting report. 2 fastballs. Most unearned runs in baseball. 2 of the top 3. That one headed up the gap in left center field. A diving try, but Bourne can't come up with it. Hamilton headed home. And it is 2-0 Rangers.
Well, when Michael hits a ball like that, it's pretty hard for the center fielder, even if he's Michael Bourne, to run it down, because most center fielders play Michael in right center field. And he pulls this ball into the gap in left center field. And Bourne, who can fly and is a terrific outfielder, even with that effort, can't quite get to it. Goes for an RBI double. The Rangers have really taken advantage of their opportunity with a leadoff error in this inning.
So 2-0, 2 in scoring position for Nelly Cruz. Cruz started to get his swing together in the 3 games in Atlanta. 6 for 14, 5 doubles among those 6 hits. Michael Young is safe at second, safe and secure, New York life. Not very deep for Bourne out in center field. And here comes the Beltre tag. He easily makes it 3-0.
Exactly what you're looking for there. Fly ball deep enough to get that 3rd run in. Make some contact, get the RBI. 3 straight hitters with an RBI.
Something the Rangers really struggled with on the road trip, hitting with runners in scoring position. Timely hitting already here the 1st inning. Kinsler reaching on the error. Andrews flied out, and then the singles by Hamilton Beltre, the Young double, the sac fly for Cruz's 38th run batted in, and now Moreland.
Maybe it takes a little look over his shoulder just to make sure there's no play at the plate.
And a ball and a strike to Mitch. Rangers in the 3 games at Atlanta had a total of only 8 extra base hits. 5 of those were by Nelly Cruz. That one foul right into the mid of Corcoran. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Moreland seeing his first action ever against the Astros. Not involved in last year's Lone Star Series. Ron Washington on the Adrian Beltre's hamstring, checked on him, said, "I told you to quit looking at me," after he said that I knew he was fine. That's been kind of an on and off conversation they had late in the road trip, with Beltre refusing to come out after tweaking that hamstring. Moreland strikes out to end a 3-run Ranger first. 3 hits, costly error. 1 man left. 3-0 Texas after 1.
For a big win tonight, huh? You bet. All right, Community Corner tonight, we're talking about C.J. Wilson. You know, C.J. Wilson recently participated in a taping of a public service announcement right here at the ballpark in Arlington for Drug-Free America. C.J. early on in his career decided to be drug-free and alcohol-free to help out with his talent. Now, C.J.'s also partnered up with Drug-Free America. To find out more about Drug-Free America, go on to drugfree.org. Log on to drugfree.org. Dave?
All right, Noxie, here's Jason Michaels leading off the Astros second. Michaels batting 190 on the year. A homer, 3 runs batted in. And the 1-1 grounder right to Kinsler. First out of the 3rd inning for Derek Holland.
Pretty well hit ball by Michaels. Fortunately, it was right straight where Ian was playing.
Derek this year unbeaten at home, but with a .668 earned run average and a .317 opponent batting average. So he has had some offense behind him. He's also had a lot of no decisions, 7 of his last 10 starts. Chris Johnson, third baseman, whose error keyed that Ranger first inning, comes in with an 8-game hitting streak. .11 of his last 12 he's in, and .348 over that span. Mitch Moreland handles this one. Holland covers. 2 quick outs in the second.
Good job by Derek after the 3-run inning, coming out in the second inning and throwing strikes, getting a couple of quick outs. Get the Ranger hitters right back in the dugout. Nicely done.
Moreland having to play right field over the weekend at Atlanta, so Michael Young's bat could be in the lineup at first base. But back at first tonight with 2 outs, the Astro first baseman Brett Wallace takes outside. Well, the Astros having a very bleak year. They don't have much in the farm system, but they feel Brett Wallace is their next up-and-coming star.
He's always had the reputation of being an outstanding hitter. Coming out of college, he was a mid-first round pick. His career is unusual, though, in that he's only been in professional baseball for 2 or 3 years. He's been traded 3 or 4 times. Started out with St. Louis, Oakland, Toronto, Houston. You don't generally see first-round draft picks traded that often.
But the teams that have acquired him,
they've wanted
gone
him.
after him.
Exactly. That's exactly right. It's not that people are trying to get rid of him. It's people that went out to get him.
Outside of the full count. Wallace coming over in the Roy Oswald trade last year. But the Astros extended that to a 3-team deal so they could flip one of the guys they got from Philadelphia to the Blue Jays to get Brett Wallace. But against left-handed pitchers, drops down to 7th in the lineup, and still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wallace originally a Cardinal first-round pick out of Arizona State. 2008. He had written in his 8th grade yearbook he wanted to play baseball at Arizona State. And did he ever?
Ouch.
Broken bat right out to Andrews. And it is a 1-2-3 second inning for Derek Holland. Ranger ticket provides access to live Texas country from Robert Earl Keen on the North Lawn. Call 972-RANGERS or visit TexasRangers.com for tickets. Taylor Teagarden leading off the Ranger half of the second. And 2 balls and no strikes. Yorvi Torrealba getting another day today, trying to get replenished after suffering the effects of some dehydration in that cauldron at Turner Field yesterday, and a slow breaking ball for a strike. So a start for Taylor, just called up most recently from Round Rock 8 days ago, his 3rd start of the year. And works the count to 3 balls and a strike. That's what you would hope Yorvi would continue to do, pound the water.
Hydrate.
Out in front of the chains, 3-2. Emily?
Well, guys, Alexi Agondo also had some dehydration issues yesterday and basically said before today's game that he just didn't prepare himself well enough. He didn't hydrate enough before the game, and probably still his adjustment from the bullpen to being a starter. When you start out in the bullpen, you can hydrate yourself out there and be ready to exert that much energy, but when you're a starting pitcher, you've got to do so a little bit earlier. So still part of the adaptation process for him, but he just basically said he didn't get started early enough before the game, getting his body ready and hydrating himself.
And strike 3 to Teagarden. And in recent years, on the subject of prehydration, people in sports medicine who study such things say if you're thirsty at the beginning of your game, there's no way you'll catch up.
It's too late. Yeah, I think you really start hydrating the day before, not just the day of. But yeah, I agree with that based on what I've read, what I've heard. Thirsty in first inning, whoop, too late, you're in trouble. And that I think that day was yesterday, was one of maybe the first day where we actually had a day like that. We've had hot weather here, but not that kind of humidity. I think everybody was feeling it as soon as you walked out on the field. I did an interview probably around 11 o'clock, and that hit me around 11 o'clock how hot it was. I was only there for 3 minutes.
Wish you brought a spare shirt.
Yeah, I was in and out quick. You could just feel how tough that day was going to be on the players. Had to be a tough day on the fans, too. Not much shade in that stadium.
Little looper off the fist and a base hit for Craig Gentry. And the offense continues to develop for Gentry. His last 11 games hitting .304. He's aboard with 1 out for Ian Kinsler, who reached on an error by the third baseman Johnson to begin the game and then scored the first of the Rangers' 3, 2 of which were earned in the first. Two unearned runs, I should say, 1 earned. Go back to last June 12th, and the Rangers have won 16 of their last 20 in interleague play. Off-speed strike. It is well documented that this is when the Rangers took off last year against a not very challenging National League schedule. Went 21-6 in June, basically lived off that record the rest of the regular season. Only the White Sox the last 2 years have a better interleague record. Chicago 19-5, and the Red Sox and the Rangers both 17-7.
Yeah, I guess everything goes in cycles, but there's been plenty of years where you probably wouldn't want to play the Astros. Mets have had some pretty good years. Florida won the World Series a couple of times, so it goes in cycles. Last couple of years, the Rangers' interleague schedule doesn't look that tough, but could face the same several teams a couple of years from now. It might look tough.
Sounded like off the bat it was hit a little deeper than it turned out as Michael Bourne flags it down. Let's look at the interleague results to date this season, and a wide margin again for the American League across the board. You think it's just strictly a matter of the American League having that big of a talent edge over the National League?
I think the American League's better than the National League, personally. And I'm probably a little biased on that. But that's the way I see it. I think there's more good players, more good pitchers in the American League than there is in the National League.
Here's Elvis. He flied to center his first time up. Happ, a very deliberate worker, but he's got a pickoff chance here. Gentry is safe. He missed the tag at second base.
Earlier in the season, a lot of talk about head-first slides. That's one place for a head-first slide. If you slide feet first, you're going to be out on that play. There's a better target for the infielder to tag. But when you fade away and all he has to do is tag your, all he can do is tag your arm. It's right near the ground. There's not much to tag. Craig fades away, puts his arm down, and the ruling by the second base umpire, Tim Timmons, is he missed the tag. We should be able to tell right here. Good call. Great call. What a shot that is. Umpire would never make a mistake if he could look at that all the time. The arm is underneath the tag. You can see him pull his elbow away from the glove to continue to avoid the tag, too.
And if Keppinger had just stayed on Gentry, there's a little bit of an overslide here. He might have been tagged out. But Keppinger already looking at Tim Timmons. See what his call would be, and he didn't like it. And now finally Happ works to Elvis with ball one. This for J.A. Happ, his first outing against the Rangers. Only 3 among the Astro pitching staff have ever pitched to the Rangers. Wilton Lopez, and then Wandy Rodriguez and Brett Myers, their top 2 starters, and the Rangers will not face in this series. 2 balls and a strike. Norris at Dodger Stadium yesterday, a real hard luck loser. For the second straight outing, he lost 1-0, despite 6 shutout, 1-hit innings at Dodger Stadium. Home run cut there by Andrews, such as it is, but it comes up empty, and it's 2-2. Wilton Lopez in that game yesterday, coming on in the relief of Norris, served up Deoner Navarro home run in the bottom of the 8th inning. So the Astros come in here off that experience, and 27-46 on the year. Elvis takes that one just inside, and another full count. Already 3 full counts for Happ. He was about to throw his 47th pitch. And fouled off as Gentry was heading for third base. First base open on a 3-2 count. It is, of course, not automatic that you run with 2 outs and 3-2, but Gentry with a huge jump that time and a very big lead back there. Not as big a lead as you'll see at second base. And Elvis fights off that one inside around his fist to keep it 3 balls and 2 strikes. This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat for J.A. Happ. There goes Gentry again. Ball 4. And the Rangers now with runners on the corners for Josh Hamilton.
No one paid a whole lot of attention to Gentry right there. He just kind of trotted into third base almost like no one even knew he did it. Not quite like Brian McCann's stolen base yesterday, but not much concern for him. I think what the Astros were saying is they didn't want the third baseman to cover in case a ground ball was hit to third base. They'd rather take their chances on having the third baseman in place to catch a ground ball and give up the stolen base with 2 outs.
Gentry now 8 for 8 stealing. Yeah, the first pitch strike to Hamilton, who singled and scored back in the first inning. And here in the second, a chance to add to that 3-0 lead. 1 ball and 1 strike to Josh.
Tough first couple of innings, pitch count wise for Happ. He's over 50 pitches now in the second inning.
This is with that breaking ball. 2 balls and a strike. I mentioned Happ, third-round draft pick by the Phillies out of Northwestern University. 3-time All Big Ten. ERA champion twice. And 2-2 to Hamilton. If you look at those with at least 200 at-bats in interleague play, Josh Hamilton with the best average going. And in fact, the best in the history of interleague play as he comes in at that 374 mark.
Right on top of the shoulder. You've got some protection there, but that looked like it hit over the protection. That'd be tough to be a catcher, boy.
Corcoran having to shake it off. And the throw over there for Elvis Andrus. Second in the American League with his 21 stolen bases. And not going here as Hamilton pops this one way back out of play. Happ, in the short period he's been a major leaguer, very tough against left-handed hitters. Last year held him to 179. The year before they hit just 216 against him. And the 2-2 pitch. Josh fouls off another one. Wow, 94th birthday, longtime Ranger fan, first game in person. How about that?
You know, Oleta Smith from Dumas, Texas, is 94 today. She also sent those delicious brownies up to us. That's why I know her.
Stolen base for Elvis.
Thank you very much for the brownies, Oleta, and I hope you enjoy the game. I hope it's a Ranger win for you. Looks like you got some friends and family there with you. Probably also from Dumas, Texas. And the scouting report on your brownies, they were way above average, and they're gone. So thank you very much.
Yeah, you had to jump on those early.
I could tell by the look on Allie's face when she first bit into one how good they were.
Left center field. Bourne looking up. Can't get it. It is off the wall. Hamilton heading all the way to third base with an RBI triple.
It was hard to tell where that ball was going to go. It was hit so high. Got underneath it. And Bourne had a long run for that ball. I thought it was going to go out of the ballpark the way it was carrying, the way Bourne was going after it. And let's take a look at it and see how close Bourne does come. That's the same pitch he hit last time up, a hanging breaking ball. He lined it up the middle last time. This time he lines it off the wall. Well, off the bottom of the wall, really. Bourne just couldn't get to it.
Michaels finally chasing it down as Hamilton made it standing up for his second triple of the year.
One of those big 2-out hits. Well, that's going to push Happ's pitch total close to 60 before this inning's over.
Through 27 in the 3-run Ranger first.
So we're just talking about how well Josh Hamilton and Michael Young hit in interleague play in the pregame show, I guess it was. Hamilton's 2 for 2, a triple and a single. Michael's 1 for 1 with a double. Actually, it was the open point before our game, not in the pregame show.
Beltre gets one up the middle for a base hit. Hamilton comes home. It is 6-0 Rangers.
2 base hits to drive in a run for Beltre in 2 innings.
So the Rangers jumping out early here. That is RBI number 53 for Beltre. And
Not
Tom,
sure.
we talked
Go ahead, Dave.
about in the pregame about J.A. Happ's propensity to work high in the strike zone.
Well, I'd forgotten about that, but watching him pitch, he has thrown a lot of pitches up in the strike zone, a lot of fastballs. He's actually probably hung some breaking balls that have looked high as well. In fact, I think Josh has hit a couple of them.
That is being ruled a pass ball charged to Corcoran.
Not sure what the bullpen situation is for the Astros. They've got 7 guys in their bullpen, but this is looking like a fairly short start for Happ as far as innings go. He's already going to throw his 62nd pitch. We've got someone warming up down there in the bullpen.
Already Nuri Rodriguez, right-hander, is up. This will be pitch number 62 for J.A. Happ, with only 5 outs recorded in his first 61 pitches. And that one a little bit low. Michael now with a 7-game hitting streak. 8th RBI in his last 9 games. So responding after his first slump of the season. And for most of the road trip, he looked very locked in again. Played a lot of first base as well. Handled everything that came to him. Back tonight at DH. And 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's best pitches so far are his slowest pitches, coming in at 81-82. See what he has in store here for Young. Now that 2-2 pitch grounded out to Keppinger at second base. Backhand stop. Wallace digs it out. But the Rangers have their second straight 3-run inning. 4 base hits. And it is 6-0 through 2. West is brought to you by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by AT&T, rethink possible. Derek Holland takes the mound for the third inning with a 6-0 lead.
Well, we've seen some starts this year where Derek's had a big lead, and I remember David Cohn when he was here saying you have to learn how to pitch with a big lead. The psychology of it. You can't just pitch to try to win the game. You have to pitch, in other words, with a big lead, hope you can hang on to win a game. You've got to be aggressive, just like it's a 0-0 game. Pitch your game. Go after the hitters. And maybe Derek has had that opportunity and be a little more comfortable in this situation. You know, a pitcher that wouldn't be comfortable with a 6-run lead. Way to throw strikes.
1-2 to Barmas, the veteran shortstop, who in Colorado was such a fixture for so many years, but kind of had to step aside for the development of Troy Tulowitzki.
I just looked through Barmas's bio. I didn't realize he hit 23 home runs a couple years ago. I would have said he probably never had more than 10 home runs in a season, but 09 he hit 23 of them.
There's the 1-2 pitch, and that one sent foul, what sounded like a broken bat.
Well, that foul ball, Dave, got a couple more people to thank. Our friends Becky and Tim Farrell from Bedford, Texas. They're usually good for one big batch of cake balls. Today it was carrot and chocolate cake balls. Thank you very much for that, Becky. And I have another Kleenex box to add to the collection.
that is quite an arsenal you're developing.
It is. And Rick, Sandy, and Clara sent this one up there. Thank you, people, for that.
We are covered next time we get a cold.
We got food and Kleenex boxes. Also want to thank Russell Butler, Confection Perfection, from Greenville, Texas, for the delicious cake balls he sent.
Fly ball left field. Hamilton jogging over. That was the first out of the third.
There it is. Thank you, Allie. I tell you, the people that send these up are very creative. This is comes right through the chimney if you have a cold.
How clever
Ranger
is that?
Logo. Very nice. Thank you very much for that.
How clever is that?
I think we've almost got one Kleenex box for everybody that's worked up here this year.
Well, where's mine?
I've got it in my locker. I'm going to let you pick it out. Now you can have your choice of that beautiful one right there, or we had the dog one. I want to see if Allie can show us another one right here. I'm going to give you your choice. We had the Ranger one. We have one that is a dog. Very cute right here. And we have one T is for tissue. That's a very nice one. So you're gonna have your choice. You might have to think about it.
Chopper slips through past Andrews, and the Astros have their first base hit off of Derek Holland.
It looks like the new infield grass is a little faster until it gets grown a little bit than our old infield grass. That one looked like it scooted through the infield pretty quick. Probably, I'm not an expert on the grass, but a little more difficult to grow it longer in the hot summer than it was earlier in the season. And that, as high as that bounced, it never hit the grass that many times anyway. To slow it down.
Back to the top of the order, Jason Bourgeois, who flied to right his first time up.
Still amazing to me that you could completely resod the infield in a week or 10 days and have it ready for a major league game.
In there for strike two. Well, what kind of adjustment are we talking about for the infielders who have been working with maybe the slowest track that they've played on this year?
Well, they come out before the game, and I'm sure they all took a lot of ground balls to get a feel for it. So it's probably not that big a... Oh, there we go.
Flags that one down out in short right. And that An inning-ending double play.
That was beautiful. That looked like Beltre going down the third baseline the other day.
Boy, so far in this game, the Rangers making all the plays as Kinsler extends to keep it 6-0.
Is up 6-0 on the Astros. You saw that inning-ending great double play started by Ian Kinsler, and errors have plagued this team throughout this season, and especially of late. They've permitted 10 unearned runs in the last 7 games, and Ron Washington says that is not the way baseball go.
No, not the way he likes baseball to go.
Pending and you don't get them. But, I don't think they're lapses. I think, Elvis had maybe one in Minnesota. But other than that, I thought everything has been physical. And there's been periods when we put things together. We just got to make sure that we put it together for a longer period of time. So, no, we can play defense. We just got to go out there and do it.
Maintaining that focus key, and it seems to be something the Rangers have been able to do a lot better here at home, and we're seeing it early on here tonight, guys.
Yeah, just like they do just about everything better here at home. 0-2 pitch just misses to Cruz, who drove in a run on a sac fly in the first inning.
Dave, you've got a tough choice on which Kleenex box to choose from.
I do.
I know you're thinking about it. I'm going to make it a little more complicated because I've got a couple more for you to look at.
All right. Wow, look at the handiwork.
We have, you could actually have the one that is kind of a snapshot from my Ramones video.
That is out there for a base hit to center.
I would only give that up because I know what a music fan you are.
Well,
or you could have the, the more feminine one with the birds on it. It's kind of up to you.
I think you pretty much just made my decision for me, I think.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going with the dog. I'd be in big trouble at home. I would have a hard time getting through the front door if I passed up that dog.
Well, I'm glad you're part of the Kleenex box brigade now. I hope you don't have to have a cold to use it.
Well, it
How
is an honor.
By the way. Coming along?
Yeah, a little bronchitis ended as soon as we landed in Texas. Guess that was it.
Good.
Just had to get back home. Mitch Moreland struck out to end the first. 6 runs on 7 hits for the Rangers. Had a ball and a strike. Astros through 3 have managed only 1 base hit. That by Carlos Corporon in the top half of the third. And Moreland, another Ranger, happy to be back home just based on those results. One of the best home hitters in the American League. 2 balls and a strike, and that is the 73rd pitch already served up by Happ.
And the bullpen's back up and trying to get ready for the Astros. Rodriguez again.
Hit his spot right there. Make it 2-2. Happ threw 27 in the first, 38 in the second. And this is about to be his 10th pitch here in the third. Well, a little more information. I'm not going to cross you. Not that I ever would, but man, that clinches it right there.
People see that and they go, how did you get a Ramones video? It's a long story.
Well, we got time here. It's 6-0.
Well, my good friend Carl Renoni was the team dentist when we first got to Texas. He's my daughter's godfather. Unfortunately, he was killed in a plane crash a while back. His youngest son, Thomas, went to Hollywood and became a producer and actually produced many of the Ramones videos.
Johnson out at third to get the out on Cruz at second base. Moreland reaches on the fielder's choice.
I'm not sure what year it was, but I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago. He called me and said, "You want to be in a video?" And I said, "Sure, what do I have to do?" He said, "Just fly out here to Los Angeles and you got the gig." So I did. And here's the end of it right here. This is from the Ramones video, The Substitute. That was a very dangerous gingerbread man right there. Not sure what that had to do with The Substitute, but Tom's a little more creative than I am. Dave, if you watch it, you probably understand it.
No, but it gets progressively more violent every time.
We should have warned people about this.
0-2 to Taylor Teagarden. Well, why did that not turn into a whole second career, since obviously you're a natural thespian?
That was kind of a one-time shot, only because I knew the producer.
Typical
and
Hollywood story.
No lines in it either for me. She wasn't in that particular scene, but Karen Black was actually in that video.
Really?
Yeah.
One of the best actresses of the 70s.
Yeah.
Karen Black.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I learn something about you every day. Teagarden down on strikes. And that will bring up Craig Gentry, who singled, stole second and third, and then scored the first of the 3 second-inning Ranger runs. Gentry, we said, out of the starting lineup since last Tuesday at Yankee Stadium. But hitting has really picked up of late for him. And Ron Washington's marching orders for Craig when he informed him that even though Julio Bourbon was going to be activated, we're going to keep Julio at AAA Round Rock and give Gentry a good long look. That is a balk, and that will get Moreland to second base.
There's no doubt in the umpire's mind. Jumped out and screamed balk the second that Happ balked. See if we can see what he did. Oh, there it was. Stopped and started again.
A little bit of a flinch.
Yep. And if you're just watching the game casually, there's no way you would ever notice that. But umpires have a trained eye, and that's what they're looking for. They may not see it for 3 or 4 games, but when it happens, they don't miss it.
Low for ball 2. That may be, I would think, the toughest thing, or certainly one of the toughest things umpires have to do, but they're really amazing.
Yeah, they are. I tend not to watch the game in a way that I would see every balk.
Down the left field line, fair, headed for the corner. Moreland headed for the plate. Gentry thought hard about trying for 3. He'll settle for an RBI double and a 7-0 Ranger lead.
I'm really happy for Craig. He's getting an opportunity to be in the big leagues, but more than that, he's getting an opportunity to play on a semi-regular basis. He's playing against left-handed pitchers, so he always has a pretty good idea of when he'll be in the lineup, and he's making the most out of his opportunity. We've talked about him a lot. He's a really good defensive player, strong arm, he runs well, and now the bat's starting to come around a little bit for him too. He's got some big hits in today's game, a single and now a double. And he's making the most out of his opportunity.
He's really thinking seriously about trying to get a triple out of this. And thought better of it. And that will be it for J.A. Happ, who does not get out of the 3rd inning. 7 runs, 2 of which were unearned. Allowed 8 base hits. And very early, with 2 outs in the 3rd inning, right-hander Anuri Rodriguez comes on for the 19th time this year.
Two Rodriguez's in their bullpen. Fernando is also a right-handed reliever. Not a lot of veteran names in the Astros bullpen.
And he starts Ian Kinsler low for ball 1. Rodriguez, a youngster, 23, out of the Dominican Republic. Astros got him from Tampa Bay last winter as a Rule 5 pick. And he starts with 2 balls to Kinsler, who reached in the 1st on an error by the 3rd baseman Johnson. Came around to score. Last time up, flied to center field. J.A. Happ threw 84 pitches to get 8 outs.
Started out bad for him right off the bat when the first batter of the game was Ian Kinsler and got on an error. Just kind of set the tone, I guess.
That one finds the zone, and it's 2 balls and a strike. 2 2/3 for J.A. Happ. 7 runs on 8 base hits, struck out 3, walked 1. In there at the knees, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Happ's only walk was to Elvis Andrus in the last inning, and he came around to score, helped by a wild pitch. On the 2-run triple by Hamilton. Rodriguez trying to work low in the zone to Kinsler. Missed a little bit low with that one. And it's 3-2. To right field. Bourgeois is there just about in his tracks, and that does it for the Ranger third inning. They get another run on 2 base hits, and they lead the Astros 7-0.
From these fans, we have the silver boot, and John Blake of the Texas Rangers are here to tell us about this one.
Well, Jim, this is the third silver boot. The first was a real boot. That got stolen. The second was glass. That broke. So we went with the real thing this time. 50-pound silver boot goes to the winner of this. The Rangers have won it 7 times in 10 years, 4 times outright, 3 times when the series has been tied 3-3. Rangers won, scoring the most runs. So scoring the most runs tonight would be a big help to getting a big lead in the boot race.
Yeah, they're on their way. This thing, 50 pounds, huh, John? Oh, man, you're not lying. 50 pounds. Very nice. What do you think about that? There we go. Ranger Fed. John, you having a good time?
I'm having a great time out here with my people. As much fun as they're having in the truck.
John Blake having a good time with his people there. Way to go, guys. All right. Stay back.
Oh, John Blake and his many energetic fans.
That's John Blake, as you don't often see him right there.
How about never?
That was tremendous.
But you have long said that that's just the effect of Noxie out there.
Knox brings that out in everybody. That is pure genius right there.
Got a chance to see what these two teams are playing for the 11th year. The coveted silver boot. Well, Bourne at first after a bunt single. Keppinger flied to right his first trip. And Bourne, first inning, walked and stole second. 30th stolen base of the year. Astros have managed only 2 base hits against Derek Holland so far. Pours that one right in there, and it's 0-2 to Keppinger. Infield hits, another area in which Michael Bourne is at the top of the National League.
He's a good player. He's become a good leadoff hitter. Terrific base stealer.
That is a fair ball. Past Moreland, headed to the corner. Bourne will be held at third base, and it's a double by Jeff Keppinger. And Derek Holland, coming out in search of a quick shutdown inning, gives himself an immediate challenge. With 2 in scoring position, nobody out for Carlos Lee. Keppinger driving that ball on an 0-2 count.
Yeah, high fastball, just kept it right inside the first base bag. Mitch wasn't that far off the line. He was holding the runner and then came back a little bit towards second base to get ready for the play. Hard hit ball just went right by him.
Carlos Lee popped to second to end the first inning.
That's one ball where most times you're better off being a left-handed thrower at first base, but that's one example where you would have been better off being a right-handed thrower. Having your glove on your left hand, it would have been easier to reach for that ball.
Just got on Mitch Moore. Big hurry out there. Right center field, Gentry off at the crack of the bat. Cruz comes in front of him to make the catch. But the Astros get their first run of the ball game as a result, and it is 7-1. We've seen some near collisions out the outfield these last few games.
That was very fortunate that there wasn't a collision right there, because they were both running fast after that ball. There's probably a ball right between them that neither one of them heard the other, although it's Gentry's ball to call for. Nelly on the run must not have heard him. Fortunately, there was no collision.
But it looked like Cruz was not even watching the ball go into his glove. Here's a sinking liner that he has to take on one hop. Here comes Keppinger, and he is safe. Just got around the tag by Taylor Teagarden, and it's 7-2.
That was very close to being thrown out on a base hit to right field. Keppinger had gone back in case he had to tag, and Nelly charged it, caught it on a hop, and if somehow he was able to throw this ball right on top of home plate, he would have had Keppinger. Pretty great job just to come close to having a play. Look at him catch that ball on the bad hop, jumps up and fires, and made it a close play at the plate. If the throw's a little bit more toward home plate, he would have been out.
And first ball hitting Chris Johnson sends that one. Here's the definitive angle right here. How close did the tag come? Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Within a few inches. Corey Cooper, though, right on top of the play. And after getting only one base hit off of Holland in the first 3 innings, here in the 4th, they have 3 along with the sacrifice fly. So no shutdown inning for Derek Holland here. For a double play ball. And 0-2 to Johnson. Chris working on an 8-game hitting streak. And still 0-2. They brought Johnson up middle of last season, like his power potential at the plate. And Derek Holland, second time through the batting order, not nearly as effective as the first, and the third time even less so. Right in there for a call, strike 3 to Johnson.
They got him with a changeup. Derek, a couple of starts ago at Minnesota, had an excellent game, ended up with a no decision, but he went 7 1/3, 1 walk and 10 strikeouts. Then in his last start against the Yankees, he had 5 walks and no strikeouts, and that's his first strikeout today. So after 10 strikeouts in 7 innings, he went almost 9 innings before he got his next strikeout. Pretty unusual.
Ball 1 to Brett Wallace. He grounded to short to end the 1-2-3 second inning. 58th pitch of the night. Good slow curve for a strike.
Wallace thought that pitch was inside. Wallace has walked 33 times. He's got a nice on-base percentage, .398 coming into the game.
Just managed to hold off on that check swing. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Garden with an eye at first, just in case Michaels decided to try and move up on that pitch. Just missing outside. 3 balls and a strike. Well, a 2-run inning. Not a big inning yet. There's another instance of Derek trying to get an elusive third out. And this should do it right here. Out to Kinsler. And Wallace ends the Astro 4th, but they get 2 runs on 3 base hits, and it's 7-2 Rangers. Who hit the first home run in the Lone Star Series? That's kind of one you either know or you don't know. Anybody pop into your mind here?
I think I used to know that, but I don't right now, that's for sure.
Well, spend a few minutes contemplating that.
Now I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you what year it started.
Strike 1 to Elvis Andrus. 1997.
97.
And of course, the very first interleague game was right here at the ballpark.
I do remember that one.
Rangers hosting the San Francisco Giants.
I think Barry Bonds hit one. Barry Bonds hit a ball here, one of the longest balls. We hit a line drive all the way to the left of the home run upper deck of the home run porch. Josh Hamilton has since hit one up there. I'm not sure what they measured Bonds or Josh's home run, 470, 480, something like that.
It was the 2-1 pitch, grounded right up the middle, high hop off the mound, and Barmes not able to flag that one down.
Barmes was going to try to jump and come down throwing, and still wouldn't have had a chance to get Elvis. But if he had a chance, that was his only one.
Actually, might have gone off of the leg of Rodriguez, it appeared there.
Let's see. Couldn't tell. It might have.
I think just
hit something.
The very lip at the front of the mound, maybe, where you get some weird hops. So Elvis now extending a 7-game hitting streak, and he is running as Josh Hamilton sends that one foul out of play. Josh, a big reason the Rangers have opened up this big lead. Singled and scored in the first, 2-run triple and scored in the second.
Did she catch that ball? She's got a glove. She looks like she could.
Yep. There it is. Well done. Well done, especially to bring a glove when you're going to be sitting that close down there. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, she did. She reached out and caught it.
On the fly.
Good for her.
Very nice. 0-2 to Hamilton.
You see a lot of people weighing in on whether or not they like interleague play. Everybody's got an opinion on that. And whether or not the Astros and the Rangers have a great rivalry. But one thing that seems to be true every time we play is it's a great draw for the fans. They seem to like it. And that's the bottom line. We've got a good crowd here tonight.
Yeah, they're still coming in. This is one of the best walk-up crowds, I think, this year. Rangers were expecting around 30,000. And
yeah, they're over 40 now.
Well over 40, I would think, too. 0-2 pitch to Wallace. And no chance to double off Hamilton as the ball ends up bouncing off the Ranger dugout. So Josh aboard on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, that one is one that, as a shortstop, there's no sense throwing that ball with Hamilton running. Get a little bit of a break because of the screen in front of the dugout. In the old days, that goes into the dugout for an extra base. So I guess as a shortstop, if you know that screen's there, you got kind of a backstop.
But as he lets go of the ball there, Hamilton already crossed first base.
And Elvis went in, had plenty of time to get there, and disrupted the throw.
So here is Adrian Beltre, who drove in a run and scored in the first, drove in a run in the second. 7 runs on 9 base hits now. Rangers errorless. They've left 3, 2 runs, 4 hits at error. And the Astros have left 2. In there for strike 2 to Adrian. So far, this is a very typical 2011 Houston Astros game. Down early. The starter, Happ, chased after just 2 2/3. Turns it over to the bullpen. But with the lack of offense that the Astros have shown from the very outset of this year, that is, even with a long way to go, 5-run deficit is pretty monumental, as it would be for just about every team, but especially so for this Houston club. Beltre reaches out, sends that one through the hole on the right side. He's 3 for 3. We're only in the 4th inning. They sit there on an 0-2 pitch. Well, you can vote now to send your Texas Rangers to the 2011 MLB All-Star Game with manager Ron Washington. You'll receive a special ticket offer. You get a chance to win a sweet night when you choose the Rangers as one of your favorite teams and cast your 25 ballots by June 30th at TexasRangers.com. Here's Michael Young, doubled in a run in the first. Grounded to second last time up. Nuri Rodriguez came in to get the last out of the 3rd inning. Only 1 out so far here in the 4th. And this is way inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Michael. Rodriguez just 23. And One of the number of Astros who this year have made their major league debuts. Lifted high out to right center field, and now Wynn catches it. Bourgeois has to come in to record the second Ranger out. So Hamilton still at second, Beltre still at first. And here comes Nelson Cruz. Ellie with a couple of productive at-bats. A sacrifice fly in the first for his 38th run batted into the year. Led off the third with a single. So he is 7 for his last 15 as of this plate appearance.
You had a hanger right there. This one doesn't usually get by Nelly.
Well, he knows it too. Just missing, be right on top of that one.
He got it again.
This one out to shallow left center for Bourne. And that'll do it for the Ranger fourth inning. No runs on a couple of hits. 2 minutes left. 7-2 as we head to the fifth.
Today, these fans having a great time, especially Janita. What was it like on the big bus?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. We had drinks, we had games, we had prizes. We just needed our bras and the Baby Bears.
Woo! There we go. All right, these guys are already having a good time. This guy needs something right here. We'll help you out there. Good to see Waco tomorrow. Fox Sports Southwest Fan Express rolls into Austin. They'll bring the fans in from Austin, Texas. We'll see you guys here at the ballpark tomorrow night. Dave?
All right, Noxie. Another energetic group out there talking to Jim Knox. Farmas flied to left leading off the third and rips that one toward the left field corner, and that one hooks foul.
You know, Dave, a lot of people have been responsible for the Rangers minor league system and the scouting and how well and how far that organization has come to one of the best in all of baseball. And one of the key players in that, one of the people most involved, most responsible, senior director of player personnel, A.J. Preller. And he's 34 years old today. Don't know if A.J.'s watching or not, but if he is, happy birthday, A.J. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Along with all the other people.
Yeah, part of a great staff, one of the best in baseball. Farmas looks at strike three. Second strikeout for Derek Holland.
There's Alexi Ogando, who A.J. was one of the key people involved in scouting, signing, and helping to recommend that Alexei go from the outfield to being a pitcher. You know, if in over a 5-year period, if you only have one success story and it's Alexei Ogando, we've had a pretty good 5 years.
Yes.
And it's far from only one, but what a great example right there.
Who could ever have predicted his first season as a major league starter how things would go for Alexei Ogando? And we're joined by Steve Busby up in the booth here in the 5th inning.
Hi, gentlemen. How are you?
7-2. How do you think we are?
Yeah, back home, right?
Back home, and not a second too soon, I think, for all the Rangers traveling party.
It's amazing what happens when you get back in this ballpark. Not only to them, to us. Everybody seems happier, and you know, it's great. Put some runs on the board, timely hits, pretty good pitching. It all falls into place.
Yeah, we've already seen all of that.
Yeah.
And Corcoran just able to check his swing on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As for Derek Holland tonight, started with 3 one-hit shutout innings. Looking for a shutdown 4th, and the Astros get to him for 2. What do you see so far out of Derek tonight?
Well, he escaped without any major damage in the 4th inning, and I think that was critical for him, Dave, because you know we've seen things unravel for Derek, especially when he's gotten down to 2 outs. And that's something you don't like to see right there, a 1-out walk to the number 9 hitter. This ball club in the Astros not playing that well. They're not swinging the, I shouldn't say swinging the bats. They're for an average they are, but they're not scoring runs well enough. So they're going to take anything they can possibly get. You walk the number 9 net guy, now you're going up to the top of the order with all the speed. And they can manufacture some things. That's the last thing you want to do.
Well, Jason Bourgeois going after the first pitch, and that is playable for Mitch Moreland. So exactly what you're talking about, Buzz. There's a 1-pitch out.
Yep, that helps.
Yeah, the other thing I think that's helping Derek is he's been burned several times by the 3-run homer. And there's not a lot of guys in the Astro lineup tonight that are home run threats. And so that probably helps him a little bit.
Sure.
But I guess, Buzz, that's all the more reason why you don't want to walk anybody,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. You want to make these guys show why they've been able to hit 260 as a team and not score many runs.
Right.
You know, go ahead and put a hit or 2 together, 2 hits together, 3 hits together, not score, and that's fine.
1-0 pitch to Bourne, and that is in there for a strike.
But I will say, Dave, that to answer your question initially, he did avoid the big inning in that 4th, and I think that was really important. He got the final 2 outs with a strikeout and a ground out.
This high hopper handled unassisted by Mitch Moreland. And there's a pretty good shutdown inning for Holland. 7-2. We are halfway down at Rangers Ballpark. With the first home run in the Lone Star Series. Were you able to come up with the guess, Mr. Green?
Nope. I was going to say Mark McLemore just because I knew he was probably there.
Rusty Greer.
That's a logical one.
Off Roy Oswalt. In 2001, the year that the schedule makers were finally able to put together the Rangers and the Astros. Since 1997, people ask, well, here's your only two franchises in Texas. How can they not play each other? But the Rangers being in the West, Astros in the Central, I think had something to do with it. Well, they finally figured it out some 10 years ago. And strike one to Mitch Moreland from Anuri Rodriguez, who came on in relief of the starter, J.A. Happ, in the third to get the final out of that inning. Now a couple of hits in the fourth. Unscored on, Rangers left two. Moreland sends this one towering toward the third base dugout, and Johnson with plenty of room. There's the first out of the fifth inning. Steve, we acknowledged a historical milestone on the telecast for you yesterday, the 37th anniversary of your second no-hitter. What do you remember most about that game?
When you said historical milestone, what in the world, how do I have something to do with a historical milestone? I thought maybe it was my trip to Washington or something. You know, the thing I remember most about that, I think, is George Scott, who was the only guy that reached base that day. I walked him on a 3-2 pitch to lead off the second inning, and Boomer came over and played with Kansas City when I was still there in the late 70s, and so I got all over Boomer. Boomer, you swing at that pitch 9 times out of 10. You pick a day like that and you take it, for Pete's sake. He said, well, I'll tell you what, I couldn't hit it. And if I'd known you're going to retire the next 24 guys, I would have swung at it for you. Take that.
So nobody told him in the second inning.
That's right.
I thought you were going to say, he said to you, you're lucky I didn't swing or you wouldn't have had a no-hitter. I probably would have got a base hit.
That's probably what he was thinking, knowing Boomer. That and the other thing, Dave, is my roommate, the late Paul Splittorff, was on me for a better part of a year because he had pitched a 2-hit shutout the night before against the Brewers. And he accused me of showing him up.
He warmed him up for you.
Yeah. He was on me for the better part of a year. He said, yeah, you got to show me up, don't you? Well, sorry about that, Lefty.
Tough back-to-back nights for the Brewers back then, boy.
Who's going to take it out in the center field? It is Michael Bourne. And 2 outs in the fifth. So that's just a great defensive day behind you. Right?
Yeah, there were some great defensive plays. Unlike the first one that I was so wild that it was a surprise every time I threw a strike. Not a lot of balls hit hard. I walked 6 guys, but in the second one, I was throwing a lot of strikes, and George Brett made a couple of great plays. Amos Otis in center field. I had him running all over the outfield. Cookie Rojas, though, the veteran second baseman, probably made the best play of the entire night. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning, he dove into the outfield grass and from his knees threw out the pinch hitter Rob Hansen to preserve the no-hitter.
And you took it the rest of the way. Congratulations, 37 years later. And,
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Thanks, as always, for the fifth inning visit. Steve Busby, 7-2 Rangers. Northwest is brought to you by Bad Teacher in theaters Friday. Trailers look pretty good for that movie. They can be deceptive, but you got your Cameron Diaz, you got your Justin Timberlake, your Jason Segel. Eric Holland out to work to Jeff Keppinger to begin the 6th inning. Eric allowed the 2 Astro runs in the 4th. And after a bunt single to lead things off by Bourne, Keppinger then followed with a double and scored on a RBI single by Jason Michaels. And since then, Holland settling right back down, has allowed only 1 base runner. That was a walk to the catcher Corcoran in the 5th. And the ball and 2 strikes to Keppinger.
Keppinger's a guy that's very difficult to strike out. Last year he had over 500 at bats. He only struck out 36 times, walked 51 times. One of those rare guys who walks a lot more than he strikes out.
We're getting his first look at Derek Holland.
Another lady with a glove. That's Heidi Vick and her husband Jack. I think we got them last year catching a foul ball.
You're kidding.
I think we did.
That's not fair.
Yeah, their daughter Erin played volleyball with my daughter. They had a couple other daughters that played volleyball too. Volleyball family.
And a very well prepared family tonight. Again, pays off to bring your glove just in case. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Keppinger.
Let's see if Heidi caught that in the air. She got it out of bounds anyway. They are big Ranger fans. Season ticket customers.
On the left side, Beltre with the scoop. Keppinger an easy out to begin the 6th inning. That'll bring up Carlos Lee, the DH, who popped to second in the 1st and delivered a sacrifice fly to score Bourne with the first Astro run back in the 4th for his 37th run batted in. Astros 2 runs on only 4 hits so far against Holland. Another good first pitch curve for a strike. To left field, but Hamilton lopes over, makes it look easy for the 2nd out.
It looked like an off-speed pitch that Lee hit off the end of the bat. He had a good swing at it, but it never jumped off his bat because it didn't hit the good part of the bat. Fooled him just enough to keep it from hitting the good part of the bat. Hit it right off the end.
Two quick outs here in the 6th. Holland at 84 pitches. Looking like a lot more gas in the tank. Still bringing it at 95, 96. And here is Michaels, who singled in a run in the 2-run 4th and grounded to second his first trip.
Hey, the other thing you like about Derek tonight, he's working quickly. Good body language. Gets his sign, and here he comes.
Derek's first career start was against the Astros. May 22nd of 09 down at Minute Maid Park. Got the start after Vicente Padilla was placed on the DL.
Gets him to pop up a changeup.
Gentry squeezes it, and it is a 12-pitch 1-2-3 Astros 6th inning. 7-2 Rangers. in Denver for 2 at a Sonic drive-in. And the Rangers tonight are hitting for Bobby Foster from Greenville. If a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Bobby Foster from Greenville will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Kinsler to lead off the Rangers' 6th inning, up 7-2. He scored the first run after reaching on an error by the third baseman Johnson in the first. Since that is fly to center and right as the first batter faced by Anuri Rodriguez. That was the third out of the third inning, which ended the night for J.A. Happ. 2 2/3. He allowed 7 runs, 2 of which were unearned. Struck out 3, walked 1 through 84 pitches, but only 49 for strikes. Oh, 1 pitch grounded on the right side to Wallace, and over to Rodriguez covering.
Dave, I want to take a second to say hi to a friend. Dave Moharder is going through some serious health issues. He used to be a pitcher in the Ranger minor league organization, then for a long time was the Rangers minor league pitching coordinator. And Mo, if you're watching, a lot of people thinking about you. Hope tomorrow goes okay. And you know that the Ranger prayers are with you.
I hope he's feeling better very soon. Andrews has flied to center, reached on a walk, and scored on the Hamilton 2-run triple back in the second, and he singled his last time up to extend his hitting streak to 7 straight games. Rangers got to work early tonight with a 3-run first followed by a 3-run second. 6 runs on 6 hits through 2. And Andrews flailing away at that one. That was way up and in.
And that's something you don't see Elvis do very often. He's got pretty good eye at the plate, pretty good back control, but watch the catcher. He's asking for this pitch up high. Rodriguez delivers it, and they get Elvis to swing at it. And that's pretty rare. You can see Elvis kind of upset with himself for swinging at that pitch out of the strike zone.
I think it looked like he knew as soon as he let go with that swing that it was not a good idea.
Yeah, it was not going to turn out well.
So, bases empty with 2 outs for Hamilton.
Well, Rodriguez has done pretty well since he came into the game. He's given up a couple of singles, hasn't given up a run in 3 innings.
Josh waiting on that one only to foul it into the seats. Hamilton, a big part of the first 2 innings. Singled and scored in the first. Tripled in 2 more and scored in the second. And last time up, reached on a fielder's choice. Drills this one foul. It ricochets all the way out to Bourgeois in right field. I don't see any gloves in that group.
Nope, that's why they were all getting out of the way.
A lot of revealed smiles out there. I think they knew how lucky they were. Hamilton strikes out. And a pretty remarkable Anuri Rodriguez performance in long relief. He has kept it 7-2. By your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Derek Holland has allowed 2 runs on only 4 base hits through 6. And he starts Chris Johnson with strike 1. Johnson is grounded to first and struck out looking.
I think Derek's throwing the ball better toward the end of the game than he was necessarily in the beginning of the game.
And he spears that one. Thank you very much.
Good curve ball. Johnson hit it right off the end of the bat. Derek throwing a lot of strikes right now, mixing in his off-speed pitches a little better than earlier. Still throwing hard.
Here is our brown hand center, great hands. That thing just dripping with overspin, too, it looked like. Treated it like a routine throwback from T-Garden. Nothing to it.
He's still popping them in there at 94 miles an hour and throwing a lot more strikes right now. Getting stronger as the game goes on. That's nice to see. Well, it really is amazing to see the difference between 93 degrees right now and whatever it was yesterday in Atlanta.
I think it was right around 93 with about, I don't know, felt like 100% humidity.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
You saw a very efficient line for Holland. Only 2 runs back in the 4th. And initiated by small ball as Michael Bourne bunted his way on. He scored, as did Keppinger, a little bit later, and a strikeout of Brett Wallace. Derek not throwing a lot of strikeout pitches tonight. Getting it done by letting his fielders do their jobs behind him. That is only strikeout number 3.
They didn't have any through 3 innings.
Last previous strikeout was Clint Barmas back in the 5th. Barmas 0 for 2 is also fly to left field. Those 3 homers, by the way, more than the Astros shortstops combined had last year. They totaled only 2. Barmas, very steady veteran at age 32. Very dependable at shortstop. Still has the quick hands, very accurate arm. And taking all the way, a strike, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Barmas coming over for the Rockies as the Astros set Felipe Paulino in that deal, and there is a 2-out walk. So Barmas is aboard. Let's again check in with Noxie. Jim.
All right, thanks, Dave. With Breck Shea, he's with FC Dallas on hand. This has been a big week for you guys because you got a game coming up. But first off, you're hosting the Venezuelan national soccer team. What's this all about?
Oh, yeah, they've been using our facilities to train. We actually scrimmaged them last week, and they're a very good team, and I wish them the best luck in Copa America.
All right, this time last year, you guys caught fire, won 19 straight. Can it be, Breck? Could this be the time you do it again? We're at midseason. You're at midseason last year.
I think we've been playing well lately, and hopefully we can continue that and do. I don't think we can do as what we did last year, but hopefully we can continue that and make it to the finals again this year and do something better.
All right, there we go. Breck, good seeing you. 19 straight. We look forward to that. Thank you very much. This Saturday against Portland at home, and they're big Ranger fans. Good to have them out here. Dave?
All right, Jim. Carlos Corcoran falling behind 0-2. Barmas at first after a 2-out walk here in the 7th. Corcoran had the first Astro hit of the game, a single back in the 3rd. And he looks at strike 3. 2 strikeouts for Holland in the 7th inning. And we reach stretch time of the ballpark, 7-2 Rangers. first inning, an RBI double just past the diving Michael Bourne. In the second inning, Josh Hamilton bounces that one off the wall, a 2-run triple. And he would come around to score. In the third, Craig Gentry into the act with an RBI double into the left field corner. His 5th run batted in of the year. And it has been 7-2 since the 4th inning. And Anuri Rodriguez throwing shutout ball, allowing only 2 base hits. Those were to Andrus and Beltre back in the 4th. Since then, he's retired the last 8 Rangers in order, and the last 2 on strikes, Andrus and Hamilton in the 6th. So, Tom, he's giving them exactly what they needed behind big early.
Yeah, I think anytime your starter's out of there in the 2nd inning, the manager hopes his first reliever can go 3 or 4 innings. Otherwise, it's just almost you have to use the whole bullpen. There's only so many guys that are really equipped to go 3 or 4 innings in your bullpen usually. And so when you use that guy, that's what you're counting on.
That's the first time Beltre has been retired tonight. RBI singles in the 1st and 2nd, and his 3rd base hit back in the 4th. So Michael Young now, who had that RBI double for the 2nd Ranger run of the 1st, and has grounded to second base and flied to right. He extended what is now a 7-game hitting streak back in the 1st. "45 pitches from Anuri Rodriguez, only 13 out of the strike zone."
He's thrown a lot of quality strikes. His stuff is not overpowering, but he's got the Rangers reaching a lot on pitches away. Not a lot of really great swings at him tonight. There's a nice barehanded catch by a young man. Didn't need a glove.
Part of a crowd of 41,205 at the ballpark tonight. That was one of the better walk-ups of any Ranger game this year. I think they expect around 30. Let's take another look at this.
I've seen a lot of good plays tonight. It's one of the better ones.
Use 2 hands. That was the key.
He was all over that ball.
Rodriguez 1-2 pitch again fouled off. And who can make the catch out there? No, that was on a ricochet.
Yeah, that bounced a few times.
Oh, he had it though. That was his. Young finally straightens one out, but it's right out there to center where Bourne had him played just right. 2 outs in the Rangers' 7th. Baseball fans, Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball leagues in your community. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, go to youthsportswired.com. "96 degrees when we started. The thermometer out above left field still showing 93. Good cut and a miss by Cruz, who drove in a run on a sac fly in the 1st. Singled in the 3rd. Last time up, he flied to center. 0-2. Rodriguez trying to retire the Rangers in order for the 3rd straight inning.
I'm glad Rodriguez didn't start this game. Rangers haven't been able to do much at all against him. 2 hits in the 4th. That's it.
Bouncing ball for Keppinger at short. And again, the Rangers go in order. What a night for Anuri Rodriguez, on since the 3rd. He has kept it 7-2. tomorrow and sign up to be the Whataburger What-A-Fan. Don't miss this chance to win great prizes and meet Michael Kirkwood at Whataburger. Jason Bourgeois to lead off the Astro 8th inning.
Well, this is one of those innings that we talk about a lot the last couple of years, that extra inning for a pitcher. Derek with a 7-2 lead after 7, 102 pitches. A lot of times that would have been okay. Now, more often than not, try to get that extra inning.
Beltre playing on the edge of the grass, so that goes for a base hit. That's only the 5th hit allowed by Holland. 3 of them came in the 4th when they scored their 2 runs. And Beltre has spoiled us, I think. He said anything down his way, you just expect one way or another he's going to get a glove on it, but that one got out there to him in a big hurry. And with Mike Maddox out for the conversation, let's check in with Emily Jones.
Well, guys, Derek Holland has been working on his focus and concentration, and one of the old guys in the bullpen, Darren Oliver, in an effort to help him with that, suggested that he started reading some books. So we gave him Blockade Billy by Stephen King. It's just a kind of a short novella, and told him that should help with his concentration, help him keep his focus. And so Derek appreciates the help that the old and wise Darren Oliver has given him.
Yeah, it's very sage counsel that Darren Oliver can provide. And obviously hasn't hurt. Maybe it's contributed to a very strong first 7 innings for Holland. He has thrown as many as 118 pitches this year. That was back in his 3rd start, April 16th at Yankee Stadium. Lost that game 5-2. Mark Lowe getting ready. Holland getting ready to throw pitch number 107.
I'd love to see Mark be able to follow up with an outing like he had in Atlanta. A couple of strikeouts, was throwing the ball great.
One and 2 to Bourne. Walked in the 1st, stole 2nd. Led off the 4th with a bunt single, scored their 1st run. They're trying to work him away again, just missed. But still cranking it at 94 miles an hour here in the 8th. 2-2. Games going on involving the American League West. The Angels trailing 1-0 at Florida in the bottom of the 5th inning. And 80-year-old Jack McKeon's most recent managerial debut, returning to the helm of Florida after the resignation yesterday of Edwin Rodriguez.
Yeah, what a career it's been for Jack McKeon. When I first started playing in the minor leagues, Jack was a manager in the Carolina League. And he was known as Trader Jack as the general manager for the San Diego Padres. And then he went and managed in Florida, and here he is back again at age 80. That's pretty remarkable.
Well, he can only help that ball club, the Marlins. 1-18 in the month of June. They're trying to end a 10-game losing streak tonight. At the bottom of the National League East, 12.5 behind the Phillies.
He's one of those old school baseball guys. Every time you used to see him at the winter meetings, he always had a cigar in his mouth, and he was always talking trade.
Yeah, he had to look the part.
He did. He looked the part. Boy, he looked like he could have been right straight out of the 40s. He used to say if he wasn't afraid to trade some pretty good players to get what he wanted. People would say, aren't you afraid to trade your top young prospects? He said, no, I'll just make a trade with someone else and get theirs. And I guess more often than not, he was able to do that.
Yeah, you wanted to feel very secure before you unpacked your bags if you're on one of his teams. But a very popular figure in South Florida. Taking over a demoralized bunch of Marlins. That's a base hit out to left field. And Keppinger has his second hit of the night.
That might be it right there. You got a hard-throwing right-hander. You got Carlos Lee coming up. Derek occasionally has been victimized by the long ball late in an outing, and Ron's going to make sure that doesn't happen this time.
Well, the ovation already building for Derek Holland. Listen to this from 41,205. A huge crowd happy to see Derek Holland do well tonight. Mark Lowe comes on to face Carlos Lee with 1 out, 2 on in the Astro 8th. This pop-up off the bat of Jason Bourgeois, flagged down over the shoulder by Kinsler, who immediately threw to first base to double off Carlos Corcoran and finish a remarkable inning-ending double play. So now Kinsler, the rest of the Rangers, playing behind a new pitcher, right-hander Mark Lowe, and the very impressive line tonight for Derek Holland.
Yep, good job. Threw the ball well tonight, battled all the way, worked quickly, threw hard, got a little bit better toward the end with his breaking pitches. And hopefully Mark can come in and keep those runners from scoring, and his line will look pretty good too. Mark came in against the Braves and I thought had his best fastball. It was up to 98 miles an hour, but more than that, he was able to throw it on the outside corner and make it tail away from the left-hand hitters, and they really didn't have a chance. That was good to see. Starts Carlos Lee off with a slider for a strike.
Lays off that one, 1-1. Lee tonight a sac fly back in the 4th. RBI number 37. Holland walked 3 tonight, but none of them scored. He allowed only the 6 hits, 2 of which here in the 8th inning.
Well, you know the scouting report. You know Mark Lowe. So if you're Carlos Lee, you got to be thinking, okay, he throws 96 to 98 miles an hour. I got to get geared up. Instead, Mark's dropped a couple of really nice sliders on him and out in front of him to get ahead in the count.
Infield double play depth. Outfield playing him slightly to go to the opposite field, and very close to a called strike 3 there at 98 miles an hour.
I think if that was a little bit more on the plate and a strike, Lee would have taken it for strike 3. I don't think he could have pulled the trigger on that pitch. Close enough to get consideration for a strike anyway.
Eric Cooper said ball 2, so the 2-2 pitch.
Well, that shows the kind of contact that Carlos Lee can make. That's the best pitch he's thrown in that at bat, and somehow he made some contact with it.
Lee hitless tonight. One of the top 5 hitters in the National League going back to the beginning of May with a .319 average since then. Still on pace for what would be his worst statistical year at this point. Chance to make this one a little bit closer. He has been a pop-up machine all year long. And out that one goes to Gentry. All 4 of his at-bats tonight have ended in pops or fly balls. 2 outs, and let's again check in with Noxie. Jim
All right,
Knox.
thanks, Dave. Time for the progressive fan of the game. It has to be Olita, 94 years young. She turned today. Also made you guys some brownies. She's from Dumas. Never has been to a Ranger game except tonight. Always watches on TV. Here's the bag. Here's the hat. Congratulations. What do you have to say?
Hi, I'm What?
What do you have to say?
Go Rangers. Oh, I want. Go Rangers. The Rangers.
There we go. Okay, one other quick question. What are you going to do? How are you going to celebrate afterwards?
Oh, I want to go dancing. Cotton Green.
Really? We can maybe set that up. Congratulations, Olita. Happy 94. There we go. It's loud out here, guys.
Well, if she danced with me, she wouldn't be the worst dancer on the floor.
Jason Michaels just does squeeze that one up through the middle. Bourgeois comes home, and it's a 7-3 ball game. This one not hit hard at all,
nope,
but nobody can get to it.
Just well located. I was hoping maybe Ian might be able to get to it and knock it down just to keep the run from scoring. Goes a long way, but just can't quite get to it.
More evidence there of the new faster track with the new sod laid down, perhaps. Darren Oliver loosening. And the batter, Chris Johnson, 0 for 3 with nothing out of the infield. Last time up, he sent that line drive right back to Holland. He has struck out and grounded to first. It's about as long as I think we can remember seeing Mark Lowe stand out there without even getting ready to throw a pitch. So finally, Johnson steps out. And 0-2. Houston not bad with runners in scoring position tonight. 2 for 5. They just haven't had all that many opportunities. But within 4 here in the 8th. 2 men on. Keppinger at second, Michaels at first. And Lowe ready with the 0-2 pitch. Just missed 1-2. Mark getting the win Saturday in Atlanta. The extra inning victory. Second win for him on the year. First was May 15th. A little number right out to Mitch Moreland. Lowe covers And that'll do it for the Astro 8. They get a run on 3 base hits. They leave 2. And into the bottom of the 8th, 7-3 Rangers. When purchased on TexasRangers.com, and all Wednesday games feature dollar hot dogs. Don't miss it this Wednesday as the series concludes here against the Astros. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com/specials today. Third Astro pitcher of the night, Mark Melanson, out to work the 8th inning. After a 2 2/3 inning start for J.A. Happ. What a job by Anuri Rodriguez. He goes 4 1/3, 2-hit shutout ball through 51 pitches. 40 were for strikes. And he retired the last 11 Rangers, all in order. You see Melanson, pretty good workhorse, already at his 36th game of the year. Has not pitched since last Wednesday. And he got in an inning against the Pirates. Unscored on his last 8 appearances.
Melanson is one of the players that the Astros got back when they traded Lance Brookman to the Yankees last year.
And he starts the 8th with ball 1 to Mitch Moreland. Pitch tonight is struck out, reached on a fielder's choice, balked to second, and then doubled home by Craig Gentry. That was back in the 3rd, and that is the last Ranger run in this game. After Gentry's double, Rodriguez was summoned, got the last out in the 3rd, allowed a couple of hits in the 4th, but left 2 as he got Young and Cruz to fly out, and he cruised the rest of the way. Rangers have gone in order each of the last 3 innings. And now 2-1 as he works on Mitch Moreland. 26-year-old out of Arvada, Colorado, who lives in Texas during the offseason, Marble Falls. Pitched for the University of Arizona. And Moreland gets a hold of that one. Way back into the upper porch in right field.
That's not only in the upper porch, that's way back in the upper porch. That's right up there with the one he hit in Tampa. That ball had to be 460. Not much doubt about that one. Mitch hadn't really been swinging the bat all that well tonight till that swing. Amazing what one swing of the bat can do for your night at the plate. Turn him 0 for 3 into a 1 for 4. A long home run.
Pretty much what that pitch location deserved, but another epic blast by Rich Moreland, his 9th of the year. And now Taylor Teagarden 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
Let's see where that one lands. That landed above the walkway there.
Have you ever seen one that far
Yeah,
up there?
there's been a couple hit there. I don't know if there's been one that high up, that far to the left, though. I'm thinking that's got to be 460. And I think, if you could have put the one that Nelly Cruz hit in Cleveland here to right field, that one probably would have been 460 or 470, maybe 475.
In the air out to Bourgeois in right field.
Of course, it was 459 in Cleveland, so big deal if it's 460 here.
How about this? Instead of the home run derby, how about Hamilton, Cruz, and Moreland in a distance contest? Who could hit one the farthest?
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. I like to watch that. Nelly says he loves the home run contest. Josh says he's probably not too keen on doing it again. Nelly didn't think it messed up his swing.
Yeah, how could Josh possibly top himself?
Yeah, if I'm Josh, I'm not going to do it again either. You're right. He can't ever do anything more than what he did. I just think you go to the All-Star game, you hopefully you get to play quite a bit and you enjoy playing, but other than that, you've got a little bit of break before you resume the second half, and I think taking part in that home run contest takes more out of you than a ball game does, especially if you go through it and have to play a couple of rounds. That's a lot of swings.
Josh, in his book Beyond Belief, came out a couple of years ago, talks about having dreamed that would happen. He had a prophetic, very detailed dream, which even included talking to a female reporter afterwards. He talked to Aaron Andrews afterwards. Wow. Johnson throws that one away, and Gentry is aboard.
Diving stop, no chance to get Gentry. Could be Craig's third hit in the ball game.
And it is. Base hit.
Good try by Johnson at third base. Nice pickup. Throw is wide, but I don't think he would have gotten Craig anyway. Craig's pretty much by the bag when the ball gets there.
Craig Gentry has his first 3-hit game as a major leaguer. Now here's Kinsler, who scored the first Ranger run back in the first after reaching on an error charge to Johnson. Flied out twice, grounded to first last time up. So he has yet to extend his 6-game hitting streak. Melanson continues to work very high in the strike zone. Moreland making him pay in a big way. With the first Ranger hit since the 4th inning. And being able to hold up on his swing there.
Well, it usually looks like he checked, and then when you see the replay, you go, oh, not quite. Ian obviously thought that he checked his swing right there.
There goes the runner, and the throw not in time. Gentry has his 3rd stolen base of the night. Now 9 for 9 on the year. Gentry taking advantage of the Good jump there. And 455 feet is what we hear on the Moreland home run to the middle of the upper deck out in right. That is right up there with the best of any Ranger hitter. Shortstop Barmas hits the second out. Gentry reaches third. And Elvis Andrews will be the batter. And we're told that 455 ties for the 8th longest ballpark in the history, 8th longest home run in the history of Ranger Ballpark. Second longest this year. A Cruz shot in Cleveland, measured at 459 feet, 4 feet farther. That is a foul ball behind third off the bat of Elvis. So Cruz in Cleveland hit one about 4/5 of the way up in the left field bleachers at Progressive Field. 459, still ranking as the longest by a Ranger this year. Eight runs, 12 hits now for the Rangers. They've played error-free ball. 3 runs on 7 hits at error. 6 men left for Houston. And Melanson, their third pitcher of the night. Happ, the starter, gone after 2 2/3. Nuri Rodriguez, 4 1/3 of 2-hit shutout relief. But Melanson really scuffling along here at the bottom of the 8th. 19 pitches, 10 for strikes. Looking ahead to the Astro ninth, the bottom third of their order due up. Brett Wallace, Clint Barmas, Carlos Corporan. Way out of play into the, well, in and out of the lower suites. As a perfectly good souvenir dropped down there, down the right field line. Leave the gentleman right there in the blue shirt.
He didn't drop that beverage, though.
Looks like he had to make a split-second decision.
He had to have his priorities in order.
And Andrews will be tagged after striking out. Rangers in the 8th. A run on the tape measure shot by Mitch Moreland, 455 for his 9th of the year. MLB All-Star Game history, going head-to-head to determine which is the most memorable of all time. Go to MLB.com/moments and vote now for your favorite Midsummer Classics. And tune into the 2011 All-Star Game Tuesday, July 12th at 7 p.m. on Fox to find out who won. Darren Oliver on to work the ninth inning. Left-hand hitter Brett Wallace goes right after the first pitch. He is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and struck out. And they're on for the 30th time this year. Worked Saturday, allowed an unearned run in the 8th inning, his second blown save. 0-2 to Wallace. Astro team that does not have a whole lot of young stars at this point, but they think they definitely have one in Wallace.
And the other one that they've got is Hunter Pence, who's injured and not able to play tonight. He's having a terrific season for the Astros. Not quite the same team without him in the middle of the lineup. He should be an all-star this year.
Well, you know, it's really hurting him not to be able to play here in Arlington.
Yeah, for sure.
Arlington High.
He plays with some great enthusiasm, boy. Even though he's an opponent, he's fun to watch play.
Former Arlington Colt, UTA Maverick. Look at his season.
That's all-star numbers right there.
Oh, 2 pitch wide to Wallace. The Rangers 3 outs away from going to 39-35 on the season. And on the appeal down at third, Jeff Kellogg says he didn't go.
Yeah, pretty good back control right there by Wallace to be able to lay off that tough curveball. He's never seen Oliver before. He was able to check his swing on a pitch a lot of people might swing at.
Tomorrow we're back at 7 p.m. here in Fox Sports Southwest. Game 2 of the series will match C.J. Wilson and Jordan Lyles. C.J. will be going for his 8th win against 3 losses. Jordan Lyles, a 20-year-old rookie, the youngest player in the majors this year.
Yeah, let's say he's got some pretty good stuff, too. Look forward to seeing him. 20 years old. He only walked 4 in 23 innings, so he throws strikes.
At the 3-2 pitch. Out of play. Already a 9-pitch at bat as Wallace battles Oliver here in the 9th. Series wraps up Wednesday, also 7 o'clock here on Fox Sports Southwest. Called strike 3. Wallace strikes out for the 2nd straight time. 1 gone in the Astro 9th.
Wallace didn't like the call. Looked like a pretty good pitch. Yep, it was high enough.
No doubter.
Borderline pitch, but it's all the way in the strike zone.
1 gone. And now Clint Barmas, who was flied to left, struck out looking, and walked. Good breaking ball from Oliver for strike 1. Angel Sanchez has come out of the on-deck circle to bat in the number 9 spot. With looper right out to Hamilton. 2 gone to the 9th. Let's check in with John Radigan.
All right, Dave, thanks very much. We're here on the Rangers Live set. We expect hundreds of thousands of our fans to be behind us when we do the show Rangers Live. Lots of postgame. Emily Jones working the clubhouse, and lots of analysis from Steve Busby, who will be next to me for the show. Rangers Live, guys, right after the game.
We will look forward to it. Big smile on Derek Holland's face.
Well, he's 1 out away from winning a ball game and throwing the ball well, coming back from his last start, which was a loss in New York. That'll make any starting pitcher feel good. Threw the ball well tonight. Threw the ball hard. Mixed in his breaking balls. Was throwing well late in the game. Worked quickly. Had that determined look on his face. Making progress.
He will improve to 6-2 on the year. 1-1 to Sanchez. Oliver a strike away from ending it. Andrews. Rangers win game 1 of the renewal of the Lone Star Series 8-3. Derek Holland getting the win, 7 1/3, 3 runs on only 6 base hits, struck out 4, walked 3. And the Rangers improve to 39-35 on the year. Holland the story on the mound, and the Rangers jumped out early on J.A. Happ. 3 runs in the first, 3 more in the second, and they pretty much cruised the rest of the way.
Yeah, it was a very good game. Scored early, gave Derek a nice cushion to work with, and he threw the ball. I thought he threw the ball as well at the end of the game as he did at the beginning of the game. 7 1/3, threw up 110, 112 pitches. Nice job. Good win for Derek. Good win for the ball club coming home.
Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest, brought to you by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. By Citibank. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. Rangers Live coming up next.